Hello, I have been away from filming for a few weeks. This is because I've been busy doing things related to the course, but also just making sure that I am enjoying my time here and making the most of it. In this video, I'll fill you in on the last few weeks, what I've been up to, what I've been seeing, and how the course is going. Got the coffee and up early. Exciting morning because we're actually heading to a different reserve today. So, new place to explore, new things to see. Always exciting. Going 60 kilometers an hour in an open top vehicle is a really good way to wake up in the morning.
Round taking.
The first external site we visited from campus was Sandringham Game Reserve. It actually used to be a really neglected hunting area, but it's been rehabilitated by the Sabi Sabi collection and is now open to guests. So we've had the pleasure of being able to visit there and go on extra learning drives. One of the first animals we saw here were baboons. These are very interesting to me. I love monkeys and apes. The males can reach 1.5 meters tall, weigh up to 40 kilograms, and they generally live for about 25 years. In their Latin name, they have the word cynocephalus, and that literally means dog-headed. You will see when the camera goes in closer that they have these really snouted faces. They are up in the tree, they sleep above ground. This is because they can see in colour, and just like us, their eyes work better during the day, so they go up the trees where it's safe. If they get disturbed, they will cause a racket, they'll give alarm calls, and they will even actually start to urinate and defecate on the thing that is below them, disturbing them. The females are quite promiscuous, so when in heat, they'll actually mate up to 100 times, but when they peak estrus, they will only mate then with the dominant male, and they let the male know that they are ready for some action by flirting and flashing their white eyebrows at the males. Socially within their group, baboons will have a small brotherhood, and when they're about 6 or 7 years old, after puberty, they will leave their troop and they will basically emigrate and find another troop that they have no genetic ties with, join this group, and then work together to rise up through the rankings, with the idea being that one of them will then become the dominant male of that new group. Also, like humans, they are very intelligent and have complex social structures. When the young are born, they are born altricial, which means they are helpless and weak, just like human babies. And during this time, they jockey on their mothers' backs and get moved around, and they are able to grow and learn and pick up the subtleties of the community. We didn't get to see them for too long, but I did manage to scratch another one of my big 5 list off on this day, seeing some water buffalo. And it's not just the wildlife. One of the great things about visiting the other reserves is seeing all of the other land features, like this incredible watering hole. And of course, I've seen them on our own campus's reserve, but we were able to see some elephants, including this young elephant. You can tell his age roughly by how big he is, because when they reach about 4 months old, that is when they are too big to fit underneath their mothers. And with that day coming to a close, I will tell you about how my exam went. So with the first exam I did here, it's actually the exams that I've done online already. Online between the 2 exams before arriving, I got 75%, which is actually already a pass. However, the better option was to redo it and try and aim for the 80% because that is the threshold where the IFGA really recognizes it. So I thought I'd give it another go. I still got the second half of the exam to do, but as far as the first half is concerned, I got 92%. So very, very happy with that at the moment. And now just got to look forward to doing the second one and keeping up that percentage. The second external reserve we got to visit was Manuletti. Unfortunately, this isn't one that students have access to drive on, but it is still a great experience because we get to go and see all the amazing things there. On this morning, we had an especially exciting drive because we got the call in that there was a lion sighting and it was quite far away from us, so it required a little bit of off-roading to get to where they were. And all of a sudden, here I was at my first lion encounter. I have done a short and a reel about them already, specifically about their mating habits, which I might have to update because as a little sneak preview, I have got some footage of something interesting that I have seen more recently. Perhaps in next week's video, I can show you that. But for now, I can just tell you a little bit more about lions generally. They are Africa's largest carnivores. They can grow up to about 1.2 meters in height at the shoulder, and the males can weigh in excess of 200 kilograms, anything up to 260. You'll see the ones in the video here are busy sleeping, and they actually sleep for 15 to 20 hours a day. The males generally tend to sleep longer than the females, because the females have a lot more responsibility within the pride. When they are relaxed like this, lions have protractile claws, so the claws will be relaxed and inside the protective sheath. However, if they need to fight or hunt, these claws will be pushed out with a muscle contraction, giving them that extra weapon. They are opportunistic feeders, so they may just take the opportunity to eat if something's in front of them, but generally they'll eat every 3 to 4 days in the wild. This can obviously change depending on how abundant the prey is, but if they do gorge themselves, they can then go several days without eating. Luckily, to help them catch their prey, lions are expert stalkers, and they can use hardly any cover to get really close to the prey by staying close to the ground. They will get as close as possible before making the final dash and pounce, and they can cover 100 meters in 6 seconds. They have extremely rough tongues, and the tongues are actually so rough that it can separate the meat from the bone just by licking it. And they don't need to drink water that much. They will drink water regularly if it is available. However, they get the majority of their moisture requirements from the blood and the meat that they eat. We had a drinks break, another beautiful watering hole. I'm actually disappointed that as I'm editing this, I've just had it pointed out to me that I missed out on seeing crocodiles here. I don't know how that happened. But another disappointing thing is while we were here, I actually found no fewer than 5 cigarette butts on the ground. And since being here, it's just really disappointing that somebody would treat this area like that. After having a bit more of a drive around and having some more amazing sightings, our way back actually took us past the lions again, and they were in the exact same spot, still resting, but this time the male was actually awake, so we were able to see him with that glorious mane on show. And yeah, it was just a really surreal experience being that close to these animals. And one more little update. It has actually taken me so long to put this video out that I have actually done my first assessment drive as well. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it because it's personal stuff, the feedback I got. However, the feedback was generally really positive. Feeling good about it, and if it's gonna either carry on that way or improve, yeah, I think things are going to go very well. Now, for the rest of the studying I have to do, obviously I've got the next level 2 exam coming up, but I've also mentioned a few times about learning the birds. So following is me showing you all the birds that I've got to learn. And bearing in mind, this is what they look like as males, females, juveniles, and as well as learning their calls. Acacia pied barbet, African barred owlet,
African dusky flycatcher, African firefinch, African fish eagle, African goshawk, African green pigeon, African grey hornbill.
greenbull, yellow-breasted apallis, yellow-throated bush sparrow. Thanks for watching again. I am going to get back on schedule with the video releases, but for now, as always, I appreciate the support. Please like, follow, go and check out the Instagram, and there's the Buy Me a Coffee link.